with all the latest big talking points, discussion and news from the football world. This is Football Central.
Welcome to Football Central. Today we're going to be doing some post-match reaction to Man United versus Istanbul Basaksehir. It was a very, very stunning result. It was Istanbul Basaksehir 2, Man United 1. I think that, don't quote me on this, but I think that was Istanbul's first ever Champions League win, which is very interesting. So joining me is the man whose channel this is on. We're on our own again, Will. It's Mr. TubeMix. Hello.
Good evening. Thank you.
It's good to be back. What's your thoughts on the game today?
Well, I pretty much saw the majority of the first half. I missed the first something like 10 to 20 minutes or something. But from what I saw in the first half, and certainly in the second half, United did not deserve to win that game. They kept giving the ball away. The passing was absolutely dismal. There was not a player, I think, that really put in a good performance at all. I wouldn't be surprised when we come to do the player ratings that most of them would be maybe pretty much one or twos, because there's not really a player there that really stood out and said, well, at least the majority of the team was poor, but you'd think there'd be one player that actually performed quite well, but there was none.
Yeah, I mean, I read through the first half on BBC Sport and listened to the second half on 5 Live.
Oh yeah.
And it's just seemed like a really poor United performance.
Very poor.
Started the second half a lot better, but in that same respect, didn't really create anything of note.
No.
Maybe 1 or 2 chances in the second half, and it was well defended by Istanbul, and they're a team with some good players. Vishka and Demba and Martin Skirtle, players like that very experienced, very highly rated in Turkey.
Yeah.
Going to Turkey in general, footballing wise, is very difficult, but
they have an aggressive style, don't they? I certainly learned that tonight. The tackling.
I continuously say, that it is Man United that we're seeing here. So very cool for me.
Yeah. Yes, very, very poor. Especially against when the next game is Everton. So it's quite concerning, I would say, at the moment.
That being said, though, just before, I'm going to let you do the player ratings, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, you did the intro, so it's only fair that I do the player ratings.
No, teamwork makes the dream work. I do think it is worth saying, though, that maybe for me, United's focus has to be on the Champions League, but I think Ole, as the game started to wind down and you saw the performance from the team, probably just thought, okay, well, let's focus on Everton.
Yeah. Well, obviously, because there's loads of games coming up. I mean, obviously, because this is not in normal times, there's loads and loads of games coming up. But also, I think your point of the, United's focus should be the Champions League. I also agree with you on that. That's a very sensible thing because obviously the league, I mean, well, who knows what's going to happen in the Premier League? It's certainly been a very weird season so far. Liverpool have not exactly been great. City haven't. United certainly haven't. Tottenham have been inconsistent. It is weird. Yeah.
For sure.
What's that, sorry?
I said for sure. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And I think that does open the door.
Yes.
For teams. I mean, even though United haven't played well this season, they have still scraped some results together. You think of the win at Brighton with the the goal after full time, and got away with one against Chelsea, battered Newcastle, even though I feel like that was more poor tactical from the Newcastle staff. But, so United definitely have not done well, but have still got the results. And the Champions League has been one of the places where they have shone. And I feel like the likes of Tuanzebe, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, in defence have been something that's been highlighted. But I think Ole obviously, he made his gamble. He decided that he wanted to throw players at it, and when that didn't work, I think it could have been a really interesting time to rest players. But
yes.
But then again, had he have done that and they'd have lost with a load of kids, you would have said, well, they're disrespecting Istanbul as a team. And if we've learned anything about Turkish teams over the years, it's not to, underestimate them.
No. You can't win, can you?
No, and I think that's why it's difficult. Obviously, this result, I don't know. I feel like this result should put more pressure on Ole, but it depends the way that the board look at it.
Well, I was actually just... Well, I was sort of saying to my dad, I mean, Pochettino is available. I mean, he... really wants to come back to football now, having a break, and
he was on Sky the other night, wasn't he?
Yeah, I didn't see him, but you should have seen his hair from the pictures.
No, I saw it. I watched clips of him on YouTube.
He looks like a rocker. He does.
The only thing difficult about him is he doesn't speak very good English, so you do have to sort of listen.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard him in interviews, and I can perfectly understand him.
I remember when he first came to Southampton, he was a bit like Bielsa in the fact that he never did.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. When he replaced Nigel Adkins, yeah.
So I actually felt, just to go on a tangent very quickly, I just felt Nigel Adkins was sacked unfairly, but, Anyway, I'm going to hand over back to you, Will, to do the player ratings.
Okay.
And then we can talk a little bit more about the game and dissect that a little, and then talk about some other stuff that's going on in the Champions League and also in the Championship today.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely, of course. Right, so let's get on to the player ratings. So, Dean Henderson, this really interested me. I didn't think I thought De Gea would have started tonight, but no, it was good to see Dean Henderson. But, well, I feel sorry for him because the defence really, there was nothing he could really do, really. The defence let him down. And if you don't have a good defence, well, yeah, I feel sorry for him. Anyway, helpless for the first 2 goals and would have been justified in literally butting heads with some teammates. Would have took a leaf out of Zidane's book if he did that. A 5. Aaron Wan-Bissaka pointlessly pondered in the final third and it led to the opener. Nowhere to be seen for Basaksehir.
No, right. When you hear me say it, right, that's how you usually would say it. Basaksehir.
Basaksehir?
No, just say it like I do.
Okay.
Basaksehir.
Basaksehir. Is that it?
Jesus, right. Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry, Jordan. I can't pronounce them. Nowhere to be seen for...
Say Istanbul.
Yeah, there we go. Second, and his service was poor. 3. Axel Tuanzebe struggled against the Willy Demba, but was not helped by Harry Maguire leaving him isolated. Got booked and was substituted at half-time. A 4. So not good for Tuanzebe. Harry Maguire claimed United have a lot of leaders, but they were rudderless. Maguire went rogue in what was a borderline deregulation. I have no idea what that word is. Of duty. 3. Luke Shaw. AWOL.
AWOL, sorry.
AWOL, that's it. Yeah, I was just trying to think. My mind went blank. AWOL for Edin Visca's strike, and it's not the first time Shaw has been caught high upfield. Cross for Martial to score a 4. Donny van der Beek started well but faded after bar struck. I guess you could say it struck over the bar. Did you like that one?
Not really.
Sorry. Anyway, so did the whole United side. Withdrawn for Paul Pogba 15 minutes into the second half. 4. Oh dear. Nemanja Matic inexplicably abandoned his post to let Bar in 1-1 and lacked discipline. Moved to centre back for the second half for 3. You can sense a pattern here. Juan Mata feebly robbed of the ball and Istanbul made it 2-0. Started the second half but only lasted 15 minutes before making way. 3. Marcus Rashford, too selfish too often with the ball and did not make Rafael de Silva look like a United reject. Never got going. 3. Bruno Fernandes, profligate. I have no idea what that word is, what it means. Profligate. What does it mean?
1 second. Say it in the sentence.
Profligate with the ball again.
Profligate. I think that just means he was crap with the ball.
Oh right. I've never heard of that.
I feel like I know what that word means, but
I've never seen it before. It's not familiar to me. Anyway, with the ball again and played Mata into trouble prior to Visca's.
Wasteful.
What do you say, sorry?
Wasteful.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Definitely the perfect word for that. And played Mata into trouble prior to Visca's finish, having too many off days and nights. 3. Anthony Martial. Okay, actually, I do understand. Did little until he was left unmarked to steer in Shaw's cross. Never built on it in the second half. 5. Sub Scott McTominay, okay without ever affecting the play. 5. Paul Pogba. Yeah, if you think Rashford was super sub. Pogba was pretty much the complete contrast. Didn't do much, and when he did, it was not great at all. Had barely any impact. 4. Edison Cavani waited for service but hardly got it. 4. Mason Greenwood offered another outlet. 4. Timothy Fosu-Mensah athletic at the back. 5. Manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer started a team good enough to win only United and no defensive organisation. His half-time change was perplexing, and the substitutions.
Right, perplexing.
What do you say, sir?
That's right, perplexing.
Yep, and the substitutions had little or no impact. A 4, and that concludes your player ratings.
Yeah, it's not good reading for United.
No.
I just think that we get used to saying these kind of things too much, that it's not good and different things like that. And just to update you on the Chelsea score, it is Chelsea 1, Rennes 0.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Sevilla are 2-0 down at Krasnodar.
Oh, right, okay.
So we're all about the shocks tonight.
Right, yeah.
But that much being said, like we said, it's not great. It's not great reading for United. But
no.
It's when this season has it really been, like we were saying just before the player ratings,
yeah.
Is this going to put more pressure on Ole? In my opinion, as this is, I feel like the Champions League has always been more hard to predict.
Yes.
Especially over recent years when you had Bayern Munich and PSG in the final, and
yes,
a lot of teams dropped out early. That's mainly to do with the COVID crisis, I know.
But when Liverpool won the Champions League, you saw Juventus and Tottenham get into the final as well.
It was Ajax obviously went all the way. A couple of seasons ago,
and you think back to Bayern Munich, absolutely tearing Barcelona to shreds, 8-2. I just think that's amazing.
So I think that it's one of those things where no matter what anybody says, for me the Champions League, especially with the group that they've got, it's a hard group.
Yeah.
How do we not know that United are, PSG aren't going to come to Old Trafford and batter United? Or how do we not know that United are going to go out to Leipzig and get battered because they've got the home advantage? You know what I mean?
But then Ole was saying the home advantage, because there's no fans for the moment, doesn't really exist.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't believe that, because especially in a Champions League game when you're travelling to another country. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying that within the case of the Champions League, I think that that's just a cop-out. And that's what I feel that one of the problems is with Ole, is I feel like a lot of the things he says, it's getting to the point where it's excuses.
Yes.
There's no fans,
or well, yes, that was the biggest excuse of them all, especially when it's not just him, it's the same for everybody.
He said the other day it took him 10 games to get 3 wins. It's not good enough. It's not good enough for Manchester United as a team. We talk a lot about that. How much now, apart from injuries, the league has started to settle down. I feel, the way things are going has started to settle down in terms of people are taking the positions they should be taking.
Oh,
they're getting there slowly. We're
yeah.
still 5 or 6 match weeks in.
Yeah,
we're getting to the point now where the league has to start settling down.
Well, yes.
In order for, you know, stuff to be happening. That being said, I think that for Ole to come out and say these things, I mean, I understand it in a way because Chelsea very much the same. Frank Lampard has said some stupid things in his time.
Yes.
But I feel like, you know, with a lot of the Chelsea results, it's individual mistakes and then, you know, lacking the tactical experience to know how to fix them in some way.
Yeah.
Whereas with Ole, you know, you're sort of looking at it and you're thinking, right, he's been in charge with this, you know, this team for what, two season and a half, 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the first time he's been in the Premier League. It's not the first time he's been a top flight manager, even though it was in Norway. You know, so for me, you have to show some of that tactical know-how that you must have to get the chance at the United job in the first place. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, yeah, and it seems to me, you know, you could see actually from the replay, Phelan was actually pointing to, I think it was Matic, or I can't remember, but Phelan was pointing to them, and then yeah, it seems to be more that Phelan seems to do more of the tactics rather than Ole and Kieran McKenna and Carrick.
I feel like it's very strange again because it was a team. You know, we talk about football being played on paper a lot.
Yes.
Here and not being able to judge football on paper because you look at that team and you're thinking, right, okay, you know, Maguire and Twanzebe, okay, you know, Twanzebe's not so much a ball playing centre half, works better than Lindelof probably. And then Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, and you're thinking, okay, yeah, that makes sense too. And then you look at Matic, you're thinking, yeah, great, you know, because he's that sort of tough tackling, you know, no nonsense defensive midfielder. And yet again, you know, it doesn't make sense because Rashford ineffective. Fernandes again ineffective. Martial, you know, scored, but you know what else? What else did he do? Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not a United supporter, so you know, it's hard for me to talk about it. But you know, definitely something's got to change because you look at, you know, Everton are a little bit of a wounded animal in the league, 2 losses in a row.
Yeah.
But against the United side that don't offer too much with the ball, I don't feel.
Yeah.
You know, they do all this prodding and they can, you know, thread a pass through and look deadly and dangerous. But once they get into those positions, it doesn't really translate into goals.
No.
So, you know, in which case, if I was Carlo Ancelotti, I'd be looking at this and thinking, you know, we didn't expect to lose against Southampton, and they played, you know, great.
Yeah.
And played great the next week, and they didn't expect to play well. You know, they didn't expect to lose. They didn't expect to lose at Southampton, sorry, and they didn't expect to lose at Newcastle. And Newcastle again did the jobs well, nicked the win.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Carlo Ancelotti and you're a born winner, and you look at that and you think, right, okay, you know, Chelsea should have won there because of the penalty shout. Brighton were unlucky to not come away with anything when they drew.
Very lucky.
You know, Newcastle would have done more against United if it wasn't for, you know, the tactics and the fact that they dropped back and invited the pressure.
Yeah.
You know, and Arsenal played a good game, I thought, actually, against United, and again, the win. So you've got to be Carlo Ancelotti and looking at this and thinking, yeah, let's do it. They got. I think I don't actually, don't quote me 100%, but Digne should be back for them, and he's a huge plus for them. And
Oh yeah, definitely a decent left back.
Calvert-Lewin's still in great form, and then you've got the likes of Richarlison and James Rodriguez, and you just look at that against the United team, and I just can't see United winning that one personally.
Is Richarlison, has he had his 3-game suspension now? Is he back for this one? Back for the
3 games for Liverpool. Yeah, I think it's either the United one will be his last game, or he'll play.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a really interesting game because
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where you're looking at it and you're thinking, all right, okay, where do we go from here if they're not winning there again? And
yeah, I mean, if Everton are still top of the table come December, I mean, that's them surely going to shape to be champions, you would think.
Well, I wouldn't think about that yet. I think if they're up there at Christmas time, they're definitely looking top 4, top 6, which for Everton it'd be good anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much, all the I'm starting to get fed up with him slightly. At least he was actually standing up for once rather than just getting in his cozy little seat. Yeah, at least he was standing. But again, you don't see. That I've said this time and time again. The ruthlessness that Lampard and Arteta, have shown. Yeah, and I think if things don't improve soon, then for me, Ole's position will be untenable. Yeah.
It gets to the point as well, I think, when it's difficult to know what to say as well. Because,
yes.
It's hard to continuously say the same thing and you don't want to be the one that does that. We do say a lot of the same thing here because, when you're looking at games in the way that we do, you do spot things, and a lot of the things you spot, and this is a problem with a manager like Ole.
Yeah.
People get frustrated. There's a lot of the things that people are spotting are all the same things.
Yes.
Negative body language, doesn't make changes, quick enough, or makes the wrong kind of changes, and it just baffles me that at half time he brings on Pogba, Cavani, and then later on, about 15 minutes to the game end, he brings on Fosu Mensah and Greenwood. If you're 2-1 down, you've got 2 options, right?
Yeah.
You either make the attacking substitution, go for it. If you lose another goal, you're already losing, I guess, which isn't a great way to look at it, but it is one way. Or the second way is, okay, let's not concede another goal, shut up shop, be a bit more defensive, try for a counter, and if we don't get the counter goal, at least we defend it well.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's like Ollie was caught in 2 minds, because he makes those attacking substitutions, they don't work, and then he's forced to think, oh, well, what else is there?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yes, I'm fed up of saying the same things, and yeah, for me, I mean, Pochettino's available now. I mean, if things don't keep going the way they are, then Ed Woodward should be on the phone to Pochettino and his agent.
I think there's another thing that needs to be thought about. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a legacy player,
Yes.
right? Came to United in 1996
Yeah.
from nowhere. I think he came from the Norwegian second tier or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Right? Went on to score the winning goal in the Champions League.
1999, yeah, when they won the treble.
All that. Stayed with the club until 2006-07, so
Yeah.
10 years at the club. When you appoint a former player, you know, the one thing that I would think is, what if United get rid of him and that ruins his relationship with the club? Now at this point, with United not doing very well,
Yes.
I think we're at a point where, you know, they have to improve or that's it.
Yes.
I think there's also the thing of, because of what he's done for the club and he is a legend, do you give him that time? Or does the novelty wear off? Because for me, I think all the Ole's at the wheel and all that kind of crap, I think it does get to the point where it's a struggle. But, you know, we had Jake commenting the other week and said give him time, you know, because of what he's done for the club. You know, he's building a squad for the future. And I understand that. I agree with that in some respect. You know, you look at Greenwood, looks great. You look at obviously Twanzebe, Ted Mengi, Brandon Williams, looks great. Dean Henderson looks great.
Yeah.
You've got all that
Chong as well, he's on loan, but
all that talent in the squad. And yet it still seems to be going nowhere. While we're just on that point, just have a look and see if there's been any comments, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Last time I checked, no comments.
Because I would love to have heard whether Jake was still saying the same kind of thing afterwards. But after this match, I mean.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you see all of that from United, and you see what they've got, and then, but it gets to the point where results and performances aren't great.
Yeah.
How often do you gamble on a future that you can't see in some respects?
Well, yeah, because obviously I could see Jake's point, because they tried going for. You know, they tried Mourinho, who was, you know, his CV is amazing. You know, he was a winner, but that didn't work. They tried Van Gaal, who also was a winner, even though the big difference with Van Gaal to Mourinho is he didn't have any experience of the league. And talking of the man himself, Jake's just said hi, boys.
Hello, mate. That's weird. We were just talking about you.
That was really weird. How are you, Jake? What's your thoughts on the match? We were just asking, you know, we were thinking back to your comment on the one we did against Leipzig afterwards. I mean, do you give Ole time? Are you still thinking the same thing? Oh, sorry, George, what were you saying?
I said it was Arsenal when Jake commented.
Oh, sorry, gosh, yes, yeah. Sorry, not against Leipzig.
Just while we're waiting, unless Jake's commented.
No, he's not yet, but...
just while we're waiting.
Yeah.
Some news from the Championship. Watford are 2-1 up against Stoke, unless that score has changed,
Oh, right.
which it hasn't. Uh, Sheffield Wednesday have had their points deduction reduced to 6, so that takes them to 23rd.
Right. Why have they got their points reduced?
I don't know. I didn't read. There was a thing about it, but I didn't read it.
Oh, right. 24. I know they were 24 points or something deduction.
It was 12, so it's been reduced.
Oh, 12, yeah.
It's been reduced to 6. I don't know.
Watford, you know, they have really done well, haven't they? You know, since they're back in the championship.
I think the thing is they've recruited. Oh, Nick Powell has just scored for Stoke as we're talking. Nick Powell, obviously the ex-Crew and United player.
Yeah.
Good player, great player.
He was another one like James Wilson, didn't he? They made brilliant starts, and then for some reason or another, just.
I think the difference though between Powell and the difference between Powell and
James Wilson.
That's who you were on about, James Wilson.
Yeah.
Is that Powell didn't get as much of a chance as James Wilson, whereas James Wilson played 20 games, maybe more than that.
Wow.
Whereas Nick Powell only played like 5.
Oh right. Gosh, I didn't think James Wilson played that many. Wow.
That being said, that does take Sheffield Wednesday to 5 points in the table and then 3 points away from safety.
Right.
And especially is good viewing if they're watching Coventry and Notts Forest. Notts Forest. 1-0 up at Coventry.
My dad used to be a Nottingham Forest supporter. He did.
Scores on the doors are top of the table. Reading being beaten 2-0 by Preston after goals from Scott Sinclair and Emil Reed Jacobson.
Oh, yeah.
Watford 2, Stoke 2 after goals from Stephen Fletcher, assisted by Nick Powell.
Right, yeah.
Tom Cleverley.
Oh, yeah, former Everton and United old boy.
Yeah. Then Tom Cleverley equalised for Watford and João Pedro took the lead with a penalty.
Right, yeah.
And then Nick Powell has just equalised for Stoke after being assisted by Tyrese Campbell.
Right.
Birmingham are 1-0 up at Wickham. Mark Roberts scoring the goal, assisted by Jeremy Bellett.
Yep.
It's 0-0 versus between Derby and QPR at half time. And at half time at the County Ground, it's Nottingham Forest 1, Coventry 0.
Yeah.
A goal from defender Scott McKenna.
Oh, right, okay. And, Derby, they're another one. I mean, Philip Cocu, is, unless they start to win,
he's in some serious trouble. Also, Chelsea 2-0 up after another penalty. Timo Werner scoring again. And Rennes are down to 10 men with Dalbert being sent off.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, so I just want to know your sort of view. Why has it gone wrong at Derby?
Why has it gone wrong at Derby?
I mean, do you think it was down to the incident? The loss of Richard Keown, their captain. Was it?
I think that's a very, very, very interesting question. Because obviously they brought in Cocu and
because Lampard obviously went to Chelsea.
Bringing in Rooney was a great idea, a great sort of PR stunt, and he's done well there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
No.
And I think that I would love to see if Koku lost his job. I would love to see Wayne Rooney taking over. Just to cut across you again, it is Leipzig 1, PSG 1 at half time.
Oh, wow.
With Angel Di Maria scoring in the 6th minute, assisted by Moise Kean.
Yep.
And
Again, Moise Kean. Yeah.
Christopher Nkunku scoring in the 41st minute, assisted by Man City loanee Angelino.
Right. Jake has put some more comments in. So, first of all, he said we should have put a stronger team to kill the group off. And he's also put, let's see how we get on against Everton. And then we need to make a decision on Ole.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, killing the group off, personally, I thought it was a strong enough team. I think the only thing that wasn't the strongest was probably, trying to think of Twanzebe and maybe Matic playing. Other than that, I felt like it was a good team.
Yeah.
I agree with waiting to see what happens against Everton, because sometimes, like we said, the Champions League can be difficult.
Yes.
But, with that being said, like I did say earlier on, I do feel like the Champions League has to be the focus for United.
Yes.
Do we know what formation United played?
It was a back three, I think. So Twanzebe, Maguire and Shaw. Exactly the one I'd asked for.
No, it can't be that, because Wan-Bissaka played.
Well, he would have played right wing back, wouldn't he?
Yeah, so then who would have played at left wing back if Shaw played?
Oh.
It has to have been a back four.
Oh, of course, yeah, because no Alex Tellers, yeah.
I think as well, just to sort of back Jake's point up a little bit, I think Victor Lindelof the last couple of games has been in really good form.
As long as he plays in a back three, he's good. He's secure.
He's been in really good form, and I think it's a little bit unfair that he was dropped. I agree with giving Twanzebe a go, but like you said, I think it is a good idea to kill the group off.
Yeah.
Because especially with the level of teams that are in that group, PSG, Leipzig, and Basaksehir, PSG top of League 1, or Ligue 1, sorry, and Leipzig top of the Bundesliga, and I'm not sure where Basaksehir are in their respective league.
They won the Turkish league, didn't they, last year? They did at Leicester.
Like you're saying, obviously they won the Turkish league last season, so we know that they're a good team.
Yeah.
The likes of the Turkish teams like Trabzonspor and Besiktas and Galatasaray, as they've proven over the years against European clubs, aren't easy to beat.
No. And Fenerbahce, are they a similar?
Fener as well. Fener are definitely up there, but I think they're Europa League kind of now. They're not Champions League standard anymore.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, because you think the players, Van Persie used to... Oh, no, sorry, that was... No, he did play them for them, actually, yeah.
He did. That being said, though, we're talking about Trabzonspor. They have just sacked their manager, and obviously the importance in that is it was an English manager. Not only an English manager, but something we've been talking about a lot. That's been talked about a lot in the media recently. He was a black English manager. It was the former Chelsea midfielder Eddie Newton.
Yeah.
Done really well as number 2 to Matteo.
Yeah.
At West Brom and
the academy team at Chelsea.
At West Brom and Chelsea. So, that's a shame for Eddie, but you don't get the results.
No.
But yeah, definitely agree with having to kill the group off. Agree with waiting until Everton and seeing what's going to happen there, because as we've said, I feel like and this is the problem with United. I think I've heard it said. I don't know whether we said it, but it always seems like with Ole, he'll have a bad performance and then a really good one, and then a really bad one, and then a really good one. So he sort of always manages to kind of relieve the pressure on himself.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Ultimately, though, I think it is important as well that once the team get on the pitch, other than shouting and gesticulating and doing this, that, and the other, there's nothing that a manager can physically do that will change the game.
No, I know, but it would be nice to.
I don't know whether we're getting to the point now where you have to question, how much do the United players believe in Ole? Because I think that's a real. If you were to think about it like that, I think it's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
Because I think you look sometimes and you think, yeah, this player's done really well, this player's done really well. Pogba, for example. Sometimes you look at him and you think, God, he was shite. And then other times you look at him and you think, God, he is world class.
Well, yeah, he turns up whenever he wants, Pogba. He does.
But like me and Sam were sort of saying the other day, it is about the player themselves as well.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely, and I don't want. Jake says I don't want Pochettino. He's too defensive. Okay then, Jake, who would you have? Me and Sam said Simeone. But the only problem with Simeone is I don't think he would get many fans in the Prem because he always plays quite aggressive. But I was actually watching some highlights of Atletico playing the other day, and they don't play like. I've heard a lot of bad things, negative things about Simeone's play style, and they don't play bad.
No.
I think the thing about Pochettino is that if you actually sit and you look at how they play, it probably was quite defensive at times. Jake's right, I agree with that. But I think a lot of the focus on Pochettino is he's a developer style manager, which worked out great for Tottenham because he had Dele Alli and then Eric Dyer and and Oliver Skip and definitely again helped to
Ben Davis
make Harry Kane better. Yeah, but Ben Davis was already established in the Prem.
Oh right, sorry.
When he came to Tottenham, wasn't he? So I think that Jake is right. If you do break down actually how Pochettino teams play, it's probably not a good viewing as people think it is. That being said, I do believe he's a world-class manager because of the way he brings players through. But I also don't think United are probably the right team for him. I think somebody like Simeone, or even I don't think Gattuso would do it. I don't think Gattuso is proven enough manager, but somebody who has a reputation for developing these kind of physically and mentally strong teams, like a Simeone, like a Gattuso, like somebody like that. Even Antonio Conte, I know he'd never go to United, but that's the kind of manager that can come in and look at a group of players. And I mean, going on to Conte, it says a lot when they've got Ashley Young playing in that team, and Ashley Young plays really well.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You'd think. Oh, sorry.
Jake says, yeah, I would have him all day. Obviously, he's on about Simeone. Yeah, I think it's a good shout, and I think as well, he would probably have the power to bring in some quite good players because, yeah, United have got good talent. But
yeah.
They are missing a lot, I think. They're missing defensively still. Yeah, Lindelof's in great form, but I've never really rated Maguire. I don't understand the hype around Maguire at all. I think you look at today, he had Twanzavia alongside him, you're thinking, right, you've got a young central defender alongside you. You know, he has to step up. He has to be the voice, the vocal one. But he was the one that sort of looked more inept
Yeah.
for me. Um, yeah, I think Simeone's a great show. Yeah.
And I was looking, just the, because according to the Sun, which I don't know how it's true, but the favourites to if all they got sacked, and Laurent Blanc, Allegri, the likes of them, Rafa Benitez, who actually Rafa Benitez would be actually, a good shout, because obviously he's proven in the Premier League he plays some good
But
football.
Benitez is another one. He's very defensive. Benitez. And I also think that there's no way United fans would take to him because he was the Liverpool manager.
Oh yeah, I mean same with Steve Bruce, he's Newcastle manager, but because he managed Sunderland as well, they'll never like him.
What's that got to do with United?
No, I was just saying because Steve Bruce, Benitez would have the same problem as Steve Bruce, as in United fans would probably never like him.
Yeah, but I think the difference is with Steve Bruce is I think that, like, Steve Bruce, when you look at it, he actually hasn't done that bad of a job at Newcastle. And I think it is because of the reputation he's garnered over the years, and the fact that he has managed Sunderland. That's probably why he's not been taken to. But Rafa, the same. A lot of people said, Rafa would have done good things with that Newcastle team if he'd have been backed a little bit more.
Oh, of course, he's a quality manager.
That's one of the problems with United's board, and has been since Ferguson left, is they haven't really backed managers financially. Yeah, they backed Mourinho. He spent €100 million on Pogba, who had one or two good seasons, and since then, basically just, like you said, turns up when he wants.
Yes.
So the thing is, and again, they took a gamble on Cavani, which is a huge gamble, by the way.
That was a free transfer, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's a gamble in a way that, if the Cavani transfer doesn't work out, it's another Falcao situation, where there was so much expectation on Falcao, but Falcao, I think, scored more for Chelsea than he did for United.
Yeah.
But he still only scored twice for United and 3 times for Chelsea. And in which case, you're looking at that and thinking, yeah, it's Edison Cavani, record speaks for itself. But wasn't that the same thing they were saying about Radamel Falcao? And in the same breath, also, I know it's a bit different for Di Maria because he got burgled and he didn't really like.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But it's the same thing for kind of for Falcao. Jake was saying, Ollie has no tactics. We just play on good vibes, which I think is what basically I think means, just for you, Will, because you probably won't know what that kind of means. I think that means that there's no tactical know-how from Ole. They just start well, play well, get that bit of luck, and they can ride it out.
Yeah.
Which is okay because they're still getting the results. But I think it gets to a point where when you play in a negative way,
yes,
it starts to the problems start to arise.
Yes.
You look at today, and it was negative. You had Cavani, Rashford, Pogba, Fernandes, Martial, all on the same pitch, and not one of them could score, or not one of them created a chance.
Yes.
Me, the bottom line of a footballer's job is to score goals and win matches.
It's a results game, isn't it?
To make goals and win matches.
Yeah.
So if they're all on the pitch, Cavani, Pogba, like we just said, all those names, and they're still not making those chances, then it's not to do with those players.
No.
Or maybe it is in some ways, but we've seen what the likes of Rashford can do. We've seen what Pogba can do. We've seen what Cavani can do.
Yes.
That's why I agree with Jake, because it has to be about tactics, because there's no way that 11 players that are that good, because they are that good.
Yeah.
There's no way 11 players that are quality would be happy with losing to a side that have only been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
Istanbul Basaksehir got founded in 1990. This season is their first ever season in the Champions League. That was their first win against a team that won it in the 60s, won it in the 90s, and won it in the 2000s. It's not good enough.
No.
Once again, it's not good enough.
No.
And that's where, you do have to sit there and you do have to think, when is it going to be the end for Ole, or something new for Ole at least?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough one.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Just as another point, to go back to the Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Watford scored in the 93rd or 94th minute.
Oh, wow.
João Pedro scored again.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no, hang on. Sarr scored.
Oh, Ismail Sarr, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Just before we finish off, I kind of wanted to talk just a little about Chelsea versus Rennes.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's fine.
We're in half time in that game.
Yeah.
Chelsea 2-0 up. Interesting selection, I felt, because the team is Mendy, James, Zuma, Thiago Silva, Chilwell, Kante, Jorginho, Mount, with Ziyech, Abraham, and Werner.
So Mount is in midfield, I guess, then.
Yep. And then for Rennes, it's Gomes, Traoré, De Silva, Aguerd, Dalbert, and Zongzi, and Gobo, Leah Tilke, however you say that, Beauregard, Terrier, and Guirassy. No Camavinga, that's interesting.
Oh, yes, he was the one that, well, he's been linked to a lot of clubs that I've heard of him.
So, basically, what I was going to talk about was...
Is he 17? Sorry, just to interrupt you. Is he 17?
Yeah, he's 17. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I was going to have a full-on conversation all about Eduardo Camavinga and how amazing he is. And he's not even playing. But yeah, that's the difference, right? Chelsea at this point have played 3 games, drew the first one, won the second one, and they played a team that probably, I would say, without Havertz, is still full strength, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, because the Champions League, if Chelsea don't win the league, which I've heard some Chelsea fans saying Chelsea will win the league. If that's what you think, if that's what you want to go for, that's fine. That's not what I believe. Because I've watched Chelsea. I feel like, even though what are they now? If they get this, it's 6 clean sheets in a row. Is it? Which is brilliant and great. That's fine.
Its defence is the main trouble, though, still.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So
sorry.
6 clean sheets in a row is great. It means the defence is sorting itself out. I really like Thiago Silva and Zuma as a partnership. I think Thiago Silva helps Zuma when, cuts out the kind of the rashness in his play. Brilliant. But if you really think that Chelsea, with a load of star players that have never played together before, are going to win the league first time, then I just think it's silly. If they go on and do it, I'll eat humble pie. But I just don't think so. I think that you have to look at Liverpool and City again, because the City have been inconsistent and Liverpool have played very well, but still got the wins.
Yeah.
They don't look great without Van Dijk, but what's his name?
Phillips, Nathaniel Phillips.
Nat Phillips came in and had the absolute game of his life.
Yeah, he's good in the air, I think, as well.
So I just think that football is a game where people like to get too ahead of themselves. I wouldn't like to think that after 3 wins in a row, let's say, if United won today and then they win against Everton and then they win when they next play in the Champions League, or it won't be in the Champions League, will it be in the league because the international break's coming up. But I wouldn't like to sit there and think that after 3 wins, all this negativity around Ollie would go, and it'd be, oh yeah, Ollie's at the wheel again. Because winning games, winning a couple of games on the bounce doesn't stop the fact that Man United are currently, at the moment, 15th in the table.
Yes.
And I'm playing some of the worst football I've ever seen Man United play.
Yes.
The dominant force in English football for 20 years. People go on about, Liverpool is red, Liverpool is blue, Manchester City's blue, Manchester's blue, Manchester's red. Manchester's been blue for nearly 10 years. Manchester's been blue ever since Ferguson left, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
You can say that, leave it. If Man United win in the derbies, you could say, oh yeah, for today Manchester is red. Which United have got a pretty good record in the derbies recently.
Oh, yes, yes.
But that doesn't stop the fact that over the course of, how long was Fergie been gone? 8 seasons now? 7 seasons? Man City are the best team in Manchester.
Yes.
Man United have got a long, long way to go before Manchester's red again.
Yes.
And the same could be said with Everton.
Well, if Everton keep the way they're going, though, could be seen them win the league.
I don't think so. I think they'll be up there, like we said, but I don't think they'll win it.
I personally think it's going to be a battle between the 2 Merseyside clubs, I think.
I think it will. Jake says, I think it will be a surprise this season who will win this league. Which I agree. I don't think... I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a great season.
Yeah.
But I don't think Everton will win it because they don't have the depth. I don't think Leicester will win it because they don't have the depth. I don't think Chelsea will win it because you take away the big names and the stars and what have you.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth.
You can sense a pattern here.
If United stick with Chelsea, with Ole, tactically they're not up to it.
No.
With Spurs, 1 week they can be the best team in the league.
I mean, the Europa League, Jose absolutely slaughtered them,
Didn't he take 4 off at half time?
I think so, yeah. And he actually, it wasn't a really good way that he put rather than he put it on Instagram, like everyone training at 11 o'clock, you know.
I think I saw that. He got in a bit bothered for that, didn't he?
Yeah, that was not a particularly good way to do it. And if Mourinho's not careful, he's going to be in a really toxic situation. He's going to lose the dressing room, and it's going to be like Chelsea and United all over again.
The difference between Mourinho now and Chelsea have just gone 3-0 up after Tammy Abraham's just scored.
Oh, right.
The difference between Mourinho at Chelsea and Mourinho at Spurs is that Spurs team isn't full of born winners.
No.
The only one that's won leagues, the only one with sufficient enough experience to say, yeah, I'm a born winner. I've got
Gareth Bale.
Is Gareth Bale. You're right. So, but the problem with Chelsea was John Terry.
Yes.
Was Fabregas.
Yes.
Petr Cech.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You're looking at players like that. I mean, Nano Cech wasn't there when Mourinho left.
No, because it was Courtois by then.
Courtois for me at that time, and still is. Maybe not now, but at that time definitely was the best goalkeeper in the world.
Oh, of course, I thought it was class. Yeah.
You're looking at Azpilicueta, won loads.
Yeah.
Even somebody like even Alonso, for example, right?
Yeah.
No, Conte signing, sorry. So he doesn't count. But what I mean is, in that Chelsea team, there were 100% all top-class players. And that's one of the differences between the Premier League now, which is, I don't think there are that many top-class players in the Premier League.
No.
There are a few, you look at obviously Van Dijk, but the majority of the best players in the league all play for Liverpool.
It's changed, hasn't it?
And but I think a lot of it is that we're in a weird position where I feel like it's a transitional period for the Premier League, because
yes, it's a new era.
This season has brought a lot of good players, a lot of James Rodriguez, Gareth Bale's come back.
Yes.
Cavani's in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Werner, Ziyech was in the running for the team of the year this year and stuff like that. Man City have signed like Ferran Torres, who was probably one of the most highly rated young players in Europe.
Ruben Dias as well seemed to be a good signing for them.
Everton have signed the likes of James Rodriguez and Alan and
Doucouré, yeah.
I think within that, saying that there aren't that many world-class players in the Premier League, what I mean is that and this is one of the things that we've said when we've talked a lot about Sam always goes on about the quality of defending, and I think that part of it is due to the fact that the quality of players in the league, in terms of players that have been brought in, has definitely gone up.
Yes.
So within that, I think it will take time for players to adapt. And I think if there are players that aren't up for playing in the Premier League, they're going to get exposed pretty quickly.
Yes.
And that's why, it's important that for teams to be sort of defensively solid. And that's why I think Van Dijk would be a big miss for Chelsea. And I think, Liverpool, sorry. It's because I'm thinking about my next point. I think that Chelsea look stronger when they have Thiago Silva. And when they haven't got Thiago Silva, they don't look great. That's why I think it's good United are starting to get some good form out of Lindelof. Because I think Maguire is one of the most overrated centre-backs in the league.
I think I was actually thinking about this with Maguire, and I thought he was pretty solid last season, but I think the incident in the summer, he's not in a good place mentally. I don't think he's quite there mentally in his mind, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I get that. You can't be on top of your game all the time. I understand that. I liked Harry Maguire at Leicester, but I think,
He needs the right partner with him as well.
I think he's coming to United, had a good first season, and then this year he just looks out of his depth. If it is one of those things where, what happened in Mykonos or wherever it was, has happened, and it's affected him, then fair enough.
It can shake you, can't it, if you had a big incident like that?
But
You talk about Di Maria, getting robbed and stuff, and that,
I don't like stuff I've heard about him, and you can't go all about the media. But I can't even remember what it was he did in Greece. Didn't he assault a police officer?
I think
he
so.
attempted to
Yeah.
bribe them or something. That was the charges, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just disgraceful from a top-level footballer. It's not like it used to be as well. Football 10 years ago, you're talking about Wayne Rooney shagging grannies and stuff like that in the back pages all the time.
Yes.
Stuff with Ashley Cole and Cheryl Cole and Ashley Cole.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it?
All these different stories were in the paper all the time, and now it's, you try and avoid that sort of thing as much as possible. Players are so careful.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's silly.
Ferguson, I'm not sure if Ashley Cole had been playing for him, and because of his marriage to Cheryl Cole, I bet he would have been quite worried, I think, because, obviously with Beckham and his marriage to Victoria, that's what, he was fearful for, because Beckham could have just easily just say, well, you know what, I've got loads of money now, even more money, because of who he was married to, obviously, and just sort of give up.
Yeah, but I feel like if you say that, it's quite bad, because what David Beckham did after he left United, go to Real Madrid playing with Zidane and Raul and Roberto Carlos, players like that, and then he basically changed the face of American soccer,
Yeah.
So, really, I don't think David Beckham harmed his career by leaving United. I think he actually only made it better, really.
Mind you, he did struggle with injuries pretty much towards.
Just to cut across you again, Leipzig are 2-1 up against PSG. Emil Forsberg with the penalty.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
That'd be interesting. I think that'd blow the group wide open again.
Well, yeah, I thought
that's the problem with United losing again. With United losing here, is that it's really with a group like that where it's loads of good teams. You do not, by any stage of the imagination, you do not want to let anything up.
Oh, no.
With that being said, I feel like it might be a good time to maybe end it.
Gosh, yeah.
If you've got any more thoughts, maybe.
On the game, or?
In general.
Well, I'll just, obviously, Everton, it's a really big game, and I agree with Jake, actually, if they struggle against Everton, then for me, all they I don't know. He'll be very, very close to me losing my confidence.
I feel like you do slag Ollie off quite a lot, though, Will.
But but you see what? It's just the same things, though. I've tried to defend him, and look, I defended Mourinho pretty much until a long time. But there's only so much, especially although you see the same things from him pretty much. It's very hard to keep defending him, especially if they don't get results. So
I think that was the thing, because I personally, for me, you know, there were question marks over Ole. They went to PSG, did a 5 at the back,
yes,
pulled off a really good performance.
Yes.
You know, did well, and then you're thinking, yeah, okay, and then they played poorly again, and you know that's the sort of thing that you're thinking. That's the sort of thing that you mean.
They're too inconsistent.
With a lot of managers as well, you know, they have poor performances. They try to change it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's to a detriment, and sometimes it's a good thing.
Yes.
With Ole, he just seems really, you know, it seems like he only knows the 5 at the back or the diamond and the diamond.
Or the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. Now, when Jake said the other day, about 4-3-3, completely agree with that. Why that's not being used to utilise the players Man United have got, I do not know at all.
I mean, because Conte, that was of course Conte's formation, wasn't it, when Chelsea won the league with him?
You know, I think we will. Excuse me, sorry, yawning. I think we will see on Saturday.
It's a big test. It really is.
Don't even think it's past the point where we can say it's a big test. I think it's more, you know, it's a big marker as to where United are. If they can't win against Everton, who are title chasing, look good, but man for man, have they got a better squad than United when you look at your Rashford, your Pogba, your Fernandes?
Yeah.
Not really. You know, it's a close one. And you need to be beating the teams that are close to you in terms of quality of squad. Think again, that's why you're looking at the Chelsea result and you're thinking, you know, Chelsea should have had a penalty, whatever, they didn't get it.
No.
The goalkeeper played well, but there were opportunities where United should have won the game, and when you're winning, when you're at home, fans or no fans,
yes,
it doesn't change what they go out there and they get paid to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't change that you're a footballer on millions and millions and millions of pounds.
Stupid amounts of money they get paid.
When you're on millions and millions of pounds per year, you go out and you win that fucking football match. Like your life depends on it.
Yes.
And if you don't do that, it's not good enough.
No.
Or if you're a player of excellent quality, but your manager's tactics are shit, then the manager has to go.
Yes.
And that's as cut and dry as it is.
Oh,
and that's that.
Oh, absolutely.
With that being said, would you like me to do the outro?
Jake has just said, see you later, boys. See you, Jake.
See you, Jake. Great to speak again.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
With that being said, I'll do the intro.
Outro, you mean?
Thank you very much for watching this live stream or the subsequent video of the live stream that will come out once it's finished. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. If you have done so, that is. Comment so we can have a little bit of a conversation in the comments. We love being able to interact with viewers and stuff, and it is something that has definitely improved over the last couple of maybe weeks or so with the likes of Jake and Gricey commenting. So that's something that we'd like to keep up, and obviously subscribers we're one away from Will's first milestone, which is 50.
Yep.
It'd be great. So if you did enjoy, spread the word to your friends, and we'll keep the bandwagon rolling.
Absolutely.
In terms of TubeMix, the channel.
Oh, hang on. Oh, someone's just come. Dunk. No, I'm gonna have to dislike this vid. We don't approve of something around here. Just FEDS. What's that, George?
Of feds.
What does that mean? That's a new one for me.
Maybe it's because you're wearing a police box hoodie.
Oh.
That's what I would go for.
I've not heard of that term before.
You don't know what feds are?
No.
Mate, you're not street enough, obviously.
What?
Feds is police. Feds is like street of police.
Oh. Oh, right. Oh, okay.
I do apologise, Mr. Dunkno, for Will's apparel, Will's clothing. He only wears Doctor Who hoodies, which is something that, we constantly rib him about his clothing, but there's nothing we can do about that.
Well, don't worry, I'll be wearing Christmas jumpers soon, so...
It is some good constructive criticism to tell Will to get some new clothing, which I think we all agree on. Anyway, to just go back to where we were.
Sorry, yeah.
That's it from us at the TubeMix channel. You'll see yours. We're recording tomorrow. We're going to change up the weekly roundup.
Yeah.
We're going to turn it into a
podcast
style video where you can sit and listen to us. There's no kind of you can sit and listen to us, relax. There's no kind of visual stimulation. You don't have to be watching Will pick his nose for 2 hours.
Or eating a flapjack or drinking a fridge milkshake.
Or drinking or making weird faces at the camera. You just look at whatever we put on in the background. We're going to sit and talk for maybe an hour and a half, dissect all the games that have gone on this week.
Absolutely.
And
have a laugh, as always.
Yeah, and enjoy it. So that's the that will be the very first Football Central podcast.
Yep.
And that can be found on YouTube, probably from. I think we're recording on Thursday night, but I think it would be best for it to go onto YouTube on the Friday.
I think so. Yeah, just before the weekend of the next round of games, so that would actually work quite well.
Yeah. So following the podcast, we're going to be back on Saturday morning for pre-match build-up of the big game that we've been talking about a couple of times, which is Man United versus Everton.
And sorry, just to interrupt you, Joe, but he's commented again. Good man, I'm expecting full on Burberry next. What's Burberry?
You're expecting full on Burberry next week? Don't think Will's got the money for Burberry, mate. Burberry is designer clothes. Clothing. The sort of thing you'd catch me wearing instead of you, mate. Will only knows to wear TARDIS hoodies or Christmas jumpers or tops that are about 5
or pyjamas.
I tell you what, we'll compromise and Will can wear a United t-shirt next time.
I've got it under here.
Well, why? Considering it's a United game, I feel like wearing a United top or showing that you've got a United top on would be more appropriate apparel.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just generally like to wear these hoodies.
They do look fairly comfy, but then again, you've got like 7 of the same ones.
They're great. They're nice and snug. I do recommend them.
Yeah. Now it's turned into Milan Fashion Week. So, there we go. You come for the football, stay for the fashion tips from the man who only wears one type of clothing.
You guys make me laugh a little. Haha, good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to think that it's all me, and then Will and his cute naivety just kind of helps. But you know, I'm no narcissist, mate. I'm no narcissist. Yeah, we'll see to it that Will changes up his clothing next time. Do make sure, if you've enjoyed the video, by the way, Mr. Commenter, don't know, that you've liked the video and you've subscribed. If you're not subscribed, that'd be great. If you are, brilliant, fantastic. See you next time. Just to carry on where we were, just to finish very quickly. So yeah, we'll be back for the game that we've all been talking about, which is obviously United and Everton. And then I think Man City and Liverpool are playing on Sunday.
Oh gosh, another big game.
I can't. I'm working.
Okay.
But I'm sure Sam or Ben would step in.
Yeah, and Top Gear's finished now, so I'll be available on Sunday evening.
And then we, all be back for the next roundup, I think. So.
Oh, hang on, he's put another thing. I'm an Arsenal fan. Wearing a United jersey would definitely gain a dislike. YGM, Blad, whatever that means.
Yeah, okay, so if you're an Arsenal fan, we don't want to dislike it, we don't want to gain any dislikes. But I think you could probably allow Will a United shirt, considering the mighty Gunners did overcome United the other day. However, I understand. But yeah, Arsenal are an interesting team. Just to cut across, because now I'm thinking, Arsenal are an interesting team. I don't know what YGM Blood means, but I know, obviously, I'm not all up on my street.
No, I'm not ahead on that street talk.
Yeah, Arsenal are an interesting team. They obviously play tomorrow, don't they, in the Europa League?
Yeah.
Thomas Partey, by the way, I don't think we talked about it very much, or I haven't, because I wasn't
Oh,
involved.
he was sublime on the game at the weekend. He was brilliant.
I wasn't involved in the last video. I'm joking. I couldn't dislike some nice fellas like you, some nice young fellas like you. Well, Will is a young boy. I'm not so young. But yeah, no, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. And if, like you said, if you've enjoyed this, feel free to come back again, because we do this weekly.
Well, sometimes multiple times in a week.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, Thomas Partey, what a signing!
Yeah.
I think obviously his quality is unreal, and we've always, he's always been somebody that whenever I've seen him, I've thought, he's a phenomenal player, and we talk about the physicality of Atletico and things like that, and he typifies that, perfectly and works well. From an Arsenal point of view, United need
Partey, Gabriel, Tierney, Bellerin, Olber. Might as well throw in Pepe. Oh, definitely not Pepe.
Yeah, Will is not a big fan of Nicolas Pepe.
Well, I think he's pretty garbage, to be honest.
Personally, I saw a lot of him in the French league and thought he was really great.
Mickey Mouse League.
But the standard isn't great in the French league, but but he didn't do bad for Arsenal first season, but he definitely didn't do good enough to justify 72 million. But you never know. Over time, the quality of that squad improved. It could come good. That being said, I think Arsenal are a team, again, like a couple of teams in the league at the minute, that are really, really close to having something special. I really rate Arteta as a coach, as we've said multiple times on this show.
Yeah, I like Arteta.
And yeah, we do digress. Well, Pepe would take James's place. I agree.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't think both of them have been great, to be honest, so...
But James looks well out of his depth.
James is good on the left-hand side, but Ollie seems to always think he's good on the right-hand side, which he isn't.
I feel like there's a lot of talk about. There was a lot of talk about Dan James, and I just don't think he's ever kind of backed it up.
Send him out on loan, I think.
To do what, though?
Well, you know, he's still young. Send him to another club on loan. And then, if we did a combined Arsenal United starting 11, Leno, Bellerin, Gabriel, Luiz, Tierney, Partey, VDB, Van der Beek, Fernandes, Rashford, Aubameyang, Saka.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, apart from David Luiz, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like what David Luiz still provides a better option than somebody like Maguire. Dan James is overhyped. He deserves to be in the Championship. I feel like it was too soon for him anyway. Too soon for him to come to the Premier League in general.
Yeah.
I definitely agree that he's overhyped. There's a lot of overhype.
Maybe what they should have done is bought him and then send him on loan and then, yeah.
And the thing is as well, I think because obviously he started well against Chelsea, you know, the hype just continued. It's not really done too well.
No.
We've completely gone off topic. Who in for Luiz? Maguire can't play when with a high line. That's true, because he's not got the pace to play with a high line.
Probably either Bailly or Tuanzebe, probably.
Bailly's injured too much and Tuanzebe's unproven.
Oh, okay.
If Bailly could stay fit, I agree. I think Bailly's a good shout. But David Luiz also has won the... Maguire needs to play for a Fulham. Yeah, because he's physical. I think he'd do quite well at a team.
Oh, wait. We've got some news, Ben Carney, just to let you know. I can make it for Everton game.
Oh, mate, that's a good shout. I think that means that it'll be the first time that all four of us are together this year.
Oh, the stars have aligned.
Which would be good because...
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a collector's item, all four of us.
Yeah. I rate Bailly, but you never see him. I completely agree with that. I also rate Eric Bailly massively.
Absolutely. If he could just stay fit, you know.
But he's so injured, and I think you can see the injuries. You know, when we last saw him against Tottenham, he looked so out of shape, so unfit.
Yeah. Jake Smith said, "All right, Ben. Jake Smith has returned."
We got a lot popping up in the chat.
4 viewers, woohoo!
Yeah, we were just about to be making an exit as well, but.
Well, I don't think we can, at least while we've still got all these people here.
Can't really believe in while
Jake, you.
Going on.
That's Ben Carney. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching in the chat. Yeah.
Yes, the stars of the line. Duck no. And YouTube mix.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a good combination. If you're going to come in and you're going to make comments and you're going to help us...
it makes it so romantic.
If you're going to come in and you're going to help us, you know, keep conversation flowing, then yeah, it definitely is a good partnership. Because that's always good to have the conversation like we said.
Absolutely. It's been a really, it's turning out to be a really good one tonight.
Let me just ask you a question, Will. On the questions about United's defence.
Yes.
Who would you, if you could buy anybody, if you could bring anybody into United right now, realistically, who would you bring in? Congrats on the 50th sub. Does
No
that mean you've hit
way!
50?
No way!
Have you hit 50?
Well, I'm not sure, but I presume so.
You must have done. In which case,
New subscriber, Duckno, get in! 50 subscribers!
Yeah, it may seem such a little thing, but Will's always wanted his first thing to be 50 subscribers. So yeah,
50's the first big milestone, I think.
No, that's brilliant and fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Supported and everything. Just to go back to what I was saying, Will.
Sorry, yeah.
If you could sign anybody, and I mean realistically, if you could sign anybody for United in defence, who would you sign?
I would sign Dyer Upper Meccano because he'll be cheaper next summer. 40. Oh, sorry. Because he's sorry about that. Because he's fast. And he's physical. So for me, those are two really good aspects.
Personally, I think Upamecano is destined for Arsenal myself.
Oh, Doug knows.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he agrees with the Upamecano shout. Yeah, I think that he actually suits Arsenal better because I feel like I like David Luiz. Obviously, being a Chelsea fan, I love David Luiz, but defensively, great he isn't, and he's losing pace. So I think somebody like Upamecano definitely fits in with the Arsenal situation.
Yeah. Imagine Upamecano, Gabriel and Saliba maybe. Wow.
Yeah, we have hit 50 subs, by the way, Will.
Yeah, I know. I checked and.
I've seen.
And Jake Smith says, "Love this," and then Ben Connie said, "Will's in his element."
Yeah, no.
Yes,
Everybody's loving how excited you are, but you know, it's just the way you are, isn't it, mate?
I can't believe it.
You've worked hard for all your 50 subs, mate. So,
Thank you, and at least viewers, you won't get to see me coming too close up to the camera from now on a lot of them. Duncan.
I love Upamecano, but I don't think we'll get him. We're more after Aouar or Sabolazai. That's how you say it, isn't it? From Salzburg.
I presume so. I've heard of him, but
about Aouar because I think I thought that was the most nailed-on transfer of the window.
You did. You thought he was going to come, didn't you?
Yeah, and then obviously the Lyon president. Oh God, Jean-Michel Aulas or something like that.
I can never pronounce his name either.
He's basically like, he's never, he's not coming and it's not gonna happen. But for me, that'd be and I've seen him play in Ligue 1 and he looks like a great player.
Yeah.
So I think that Arsenal have got some good options in midfield now. So they're in a position where if they could just get that final piece. But then, for me, you look at Gabriel, he looks great. And Tierney's obviously done really well at centre-back as well.
Yeah.
Then it's looking at what else they need. We never got Aouar because his agent, who's his brother, demanded a 10 million agent fee.
10 million?
Mate, that's ridiculous.
Holy fudge.
I mean, I can imagine that because in the modern game, that's just what agents are like. But that's ridiculous.
10 fudging million.
That's that. Yeah, Will doesn't like to swear, although I will swear. 10 fucking million is what Will's trying to say. And yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'd like to think though that somebody of his quality probably will end up in the Premier League.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I think Arsenal will end up going for him at a later date.
Absolutely. I'm as much as I don't want to leave because we're having a great time. It is 10 to 10, and we've been going for like an hour and a half. So I think we need to sort of look at trying to wrap up.
Well, we might as well stay until 10 because we're so close. No.
All right then. Well, whatever you want to do then, mate. Okay. Um, just to go back because I'm aware that I think that a lot of the championship games have ended now. So if you just look on the comments, you keep your eye on the comments, and I'm just going to go over the scores and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
Ben's just said, Will, you're amazing. You really make me laugh. That's one of the reasons I do these streams. Our new friend Dunkno says if we don't get him in January, I think Juve will get him. That's interesting because obviously, again, you exactly know how they're doing. I know that like obviously they signed Weston McKennie on loan from Schalke, and Aaron Ramsey, is back in the fold. They got Rabiot, who's a great player. Federico Chiesa is somebody else they signed who's got a good future. Obviously, he's a winger, but what I mean is that obviously Pirlo is trying to create a new identity for Juventus, and I feel like a player that's good with the ball, such as Aouar is, and quite skillful and quick, could probably doesn't fit exactly what Pirlo was as a player, but probably does fit a little bit of something that Juve might be missing in midfield. That's a pretty decent shout, to be fair, Juve. If you just keep, like you said, if you just keep your eye on the comments, Will, and I'm just gonna look at the final scores.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
You're having the time of your life, mate.
Yeah.
So just go over these final scores. We have got Preston 3, Reading 0. That's an away win for Preston against Championship leaders Reading after goals from Scott Sinclair, Emil Rees-Jacobson and Dan Potts. 3-2 to Watford at home after goals from Tom Cleverley, João Pedro and Ismail Assar for Watford, and Stephen Fletcher and Nick Powell for Stoke. A 2-1 win for Wickham away at Birmingham after goals from Mark Roberts were followed up from Wickham with goals from Scott Casket and Pedersen. I'm not sure who he is, but okay. Win over Derby after Macaulay Barnes struck in the 88th minute. Bear with me a second. My internet is not playing ball. Nottingham Forest got a 2-1 home win after goals from Scott McKenna was cancelled out for Callum O'Hare, and Lyle Taylor scored a 97th minute winning penalty. And Luton Town got the 1-0 away win at Rotherham after a goal from James Collins. You having a good time there, Will?
Oh, yes.
Dunkno says, not going to lie, this Will geezer makes me laugh. He's so gassed right now. Yeah, he is. You can hear him just having the best time of his life. And it's brilliant. And it is, to be honest, me and Ben and Sam have all said it. We absolutely... one of the main reasons that we do this show is we do it for Will because he just loves it. He just, he's having the time of his life. And you also said Juve are broke ATM. That's why you said he'll go in the side. I didn't realise that Juventus were struggling money-wise. But yeah, they're obviously going to... I feel like they need to... They've got a lot of good players, and obviously they got rid of quite a few, didn't they? Matuidi went into Miami, as did Higuain. So yeah, they've got rid of quite a few players, but I feel like they still need to sort of balance the books a little bit as well. I would pay to see Will take some ecstasy. I don't think you would ever see Will take drugs in his life, but I would also pay to see that myself, to be honest with you. I feel like that would be a great experience that would have to be, I think we'd have to make a separate video just for that. Just to sit there and watch Will have the trip of his life. I would enjoy that very much. Are you alright, mate?
Yeah,
Are
right.
you actually, okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm just so happy.
Oh, mate, that's lovely. I'm glad. I'm so glad that you're happy. That's made me smile so much that you're literally just having the time of your life, having the biggest laugh of your life, just because you're happy. That's great. That's brilliant. I feel like we've gone massively off the football, or Will has at least. But I'm just going to give you some more scores on the doors. In the Champions League, it was Zenit St. Petersburg 1, Lazio 1. We already know that Istanbul and Chelsea scored. The Chelsea game's finished. It was 3-0 to Chelsea against Rennes. Sevilla came back from 2-1 down to win at Krasnodar 3-2. No, that's not his name. That's his dad's name. Erling Braut Haaland scored a double as Borussia Dortmund claimed a 3-0 away win at Club Brugge. Lionel Messi scored again as Barcelona beat Dynamo Kiev 2-1. Juventus, who we were just talking about, interestingly enough, beat Fenerbahçe 4-1 with 2 goals from Alvaro Morata and a goal from Paulo Dybala, as well as an own goal from Fenerbahçe's Diwali. And RB Leipzig did, in the end, hold out for the victory against 9-man Paris Saint-Germain, with Idrissa Gueye and Presnel Kimpembe being sent off. I'll keep an eye on the comments then, will you?
What do you say, sorry?
Yeah. You should do that for your 1,000 sub. And then on your 10,000 sub, do some acid. What do you think? If we ever got to 1,000 subs, would you take some drugs, Will?
No.
I feel like you're getting that excited that you can't breathe. I think you just need to calm down a little minute.
Sorry.
But yeah, I know. I'm glad that you're happy, mate. I feel like you've worked so hard to get to this point. It may only be 50, but 50 is a lot to you, so that's fine. That's great.
Thank you.
But yeah, now it is nearly 10 o'clock, and I've tried to do this about 3 times. But Will's excitement has curtailed me. We're going to call it a day there, which is really sad because it's been one of the best streams that we've had in a while. If you did like this and you're not already subscribed or whatever, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, share with your friends, subscribe. And we'll be back with a video on Friday. We'll be back live streaming on Saturday morning, and then after that we'll probably be back the Friday after with the next roundup or another video.
Thursday or Friday or something.
I don't quite know what we're going to do after the end of and there's the Man City Liverpool game on Sunday. Will yeah, like he's in some sweaty drum and bass rave. Oh mate, that's class. That's perfect. Yeah, he's having the time of his life. Yeah. Fantastic. Right, okay. With that being said, I'm going to leave Will to say the goodbyes and the thank yous, because it means the world to Will.
Yes.
Mate, you look so excited. You look like you're going to throw up.
No, it's just I've really enjoyed this one. It's been great, and
Are you ready to say your goodbyes?
yes, if you want to, as JLIWheels said, like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. And from all of us here, thanks for watching and goodbye.